social media. How does a young student athlete get the attention of you, coach?
Well, it's changed through the years. It's really changed, but in the last 4 or 5 years, Twitter has been a big thing. And they create obviously a profile. I guess it's X now. I don't want to get Elon upset, but I like Elon, so I'll make sure that I say X, and that's a great symbol because that's a wide receiver symbol, the X position. So I like it. Um, but I think it's very important to separate and make a football only Twitter profile. Don't put all that other stuff on there. Try to keep it as much about football and your recruiting and making sure that you post your highlights, keeping your highlights up to date. Here, I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't, upset anybody out there, but the 4-year coaches have gotten lazy. They don't recruit like they used to when I was a recruiting coordinator and I was a coach. They don't go out as much. They actually have analysts. They have recruiting staffs. They've got people that do all the grunt work, and then they get told where to go and to go watch this guy practice. Not every school, but the bigger the school, the more it is. But I think the other thing is you can't just randomly send stuff out. I mean, you've got to write a decent cover level. It's like, dude, can you take a look at my check me out? It's like, I get rid of those ones right away. I want to know your name. I want to know where you're from, your high school, your graduation year, your height, your weight, and your highlights. Just a little bit about yourself, not just like, check me out, coach. I really want to play for you. Okay, you sent that to 2,400 other people. How are you gonna grab my attention? Because I woke up this morning and I looked at my email and I had 5 class of 25 guys. And I said, come on, I'm a community college. We don't even start looking at those guys really until, next season. We have enough. We're still recruiting to fill our roster because we have to go all the way because of the rules. We have to go all the way to August. And we're not anybody's first choice. Because everybody believes they're Division One. Then they get humbled a little bit and realize that maybe they have a deficiency somewhere. A lot of times, the only reason kids don't end up at the 4-year level is because they do have a deficiency. And a new deficiency is the transfer portal. So it wasn't just height, weight, grades, speed, a tweener, position wise. There's a lot of factors that go into why you are recruited and why you're not recruited. And you have to be able to sell your strengths. Let the coach figure out what your weakness is. And then hopefully a guy's honest enough to let you know. I still scratch my head and wonder, we've got 4 or 5 kids on our roster now that we wouldn't have got 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason being is the transfer portal. So you've got to do things that can separate yourself, because whether you're a high school student athlete or a community college student athlete, you're going to get recruited along with the portal. The portal guys are a lot easier because they're already in school and they can transfer and they're automatically eligible. So you're dealing with a lot of things. So you've got to go to the class. You got to go to class. You got to get your grades up. I always say you got to have the 3 T's, and this is really important. And I still believe it firmly. You've got to have a transcript. You got to have tape, and you've got to be on a successful team. So team, transcript, tape. And if you think it's all about you, because there's a lot of great players on bad teams, but it really helps when you're a really good player on a good team. Sometimes you'll get recruited heavier being on a good team with good tape and a good transcript versus, great tape on a really bad team, because then they're going to say, what's your level of competition? There's a whole bunch of things that go into it that a coach, and this isn't just me, this is just coaches, Look at their level of competition. Who are they playing? You know, I always tell our guys, they don't want to see your film versus this team. They're going to want to see your team, you know, see your film against this team, you know, one of the top teams. So all those things go into consideration, but throw it all out. If I'm a parent and you're spending all this time on these, you know, on this trainer to work your, you know, the quarterback to have the perfect mechanics, but you're not spending time on a tutor to make sure he gets his English and math done, you're kind of spitting in the wind right there. You need to have balance and quit having these kids just play. If they want to play baseball, they want to run track, they want to play basketball, let them do it. A lot of the injuries we see now is because we're overtraining and we're using the same muscles over and over again. And that's why there's so many injuries. And I think multi-sport athletes is another, I'm a firm believer in that.
You